My brothers and sisters, sometimes in life, we come to a point where everything seems to be falling apart. We look around and wonder, how will I ever get through this? The doors appear locked, the roads are blocked, and every solution we try seems to fail. In those moments, it feels as though the impossible stands right before us, laughing at our helplessness. But, my brothers and sisters, that is exactly where hope begins. You see, hope is not about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about believing that the pain has a purpose. It's about trusting that even when the night is at its darkest, the dawn is not far behind. Many times, we lose faith because we cannot see results immediately. But what we forget is that the greatest miracles often unfold silently, slowly, and in ways we never expected. My brothers and sisters, the impossible only becomes possible when we refuse to give up. When we hold on, even with trembling hands, when we whisper a prayer with tears in our eyes and still say, I trust you. That is when the story begins to change. That is when the impossible actually happens, not because we had control, but because we placed our hope in the one who does. My brothers and sisters, every single one of us has faced moments in life when everything seems to crumble before our eyes. You might look around and feel completely lost, as though the world is closing in on you. The dreams you once held so dearly start to fade, and the people you relied on seem distant. It's in these times that our hearts whisper, this is impossible. I can't do this anymore. And yet, my brothers and sisters, those very moments of darkness are not signs of failure. They are invitations to strengthen our spirit. Life was never meant to be a straight path of comfort and ease. It is through the storms that we learn how to steer the ship. When we face challenges, our first instinct is to ask, why me? But if we pause for a moment and look deeper, we'll realize that those struggles are often the very means through which we grow. When everything is easy, we rarely stop to reflect, we rarely call out to our Creator with sincerity, and we hardly appreciate the blessings that surround us. But when the world seems to turn against us, suddenly we begin to see clearly. We learn humility, we learn gratitude. We learn that our strength does not come from our wealth, status, or knowledge, but from the faith that anchors us when everything else shakes. My brothers and sisters, acknowledging life's challenges is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of maturity. It is saying, yes, this hurts. Yes, I am struggling. But I know there is wisdom in this test. The truth is, no one walks through life without being tested. Every person you admire, every story of triumph you hear, is rooted in moments of hardship that seemed impossible to overcome. The difference between those who rise and those who fall lies not in the size of their struggle, but in the strength of their hope. When we face a challenge, we often wish for it to disappear instantly. But imagine if every obstacle vanished the moment it appeared. Would we ever develop patience? Would we ever discover resilience? Would we ever appreciate the sweetness of relief after hardship? These moments of pain shape us in ways that comfort never could. They remind us that we are not in control, that there is a higher plan unfolding even when we cannot see it. They draw us closer to the one who never abandons us, even when the world seems to. My brothers and sisters, every challenge carries a hidden blessing. Sometimes the blessing is not in what we gain, but in what we learn, in who we become, and in how deeply we begin to trust. My brothers and sisters, hope is one of the most powerful forces within the human heart. It is that quiet whisper that tells you to keep going even when everything around you is falling apart. Hope is not about ignoring reality or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It is about looking at that pain and saying, even this will pass. It is believing that behind every closed door lies a reason, behind every delay lies wisdom, and behind every hardship lies a blessing waiting to unfold. Hope is not a luxury for the fortunate. It is a necessity for every soul that walks through this world filled with trials. When we speak of hope, we are not talking about wishful thinking or blind optimism. True hope is built upon faith. It is rooted in trust, the trust that no matter how dark the night may seem, there is always a dawn waiting to rise. When we lose hope, we lose sight of that truth. We begin to think that our problems are greater than the power of the one who created us. But when we hold on to hope, even in the smallest way, we acknowledge that our circumstances do not define our destiny. We remind ourselves that what seems impossible for us is never impossible for the Almighty. My brothers and sisters, hope is not passive. It is an active choice, a daily struggle to silence despair. When you wake up each morning and choose to try again, that is hope. When you make a sincere prayer, even after days of silence, that is hope. When you smile through your tears and tell yourself that your story isn't over yet, that is hope. It pushes us forward when logic says stop, and it lights our way when reason says turn back. Hope does not remove the pain, but it gives the pain purpose. It tells us that every tear we shed is watering the ground for something beautiful that has yet to grow. Sometimes, my brothers and sisters, hope is all we have, but that is more than enough. Because hope connects us directly to the source of strength that never fails. When people turn away, when plans collapse, when the world grows silent, hope whispers, your Creator still listens. And that whisper is what transforms despair into patience, fear into courage, and impossibility into reality. My brothers and sisters, one of the most beautiful truths of life is that everything happens according to divine wisdom and perfect timing. We live in a world that demands instant results, immediate answers, and quick fixes, but the reality of faith teaches us patience. When something we desire doesn't happen right away, we begin to think it will never happen. When our prayers seem unanswered, we assume they have been ignored. But my brothers and sisters, what we often forget is that delay is not denial. Sometimes, What we think is being withheld is actually being prepared for us in ways we cannot yet see. Every moment in our lives unfolds with purpose. The opportunities that come, the doors that close, the people who enter or leave our paths, none of it is random. The divine plan operates with precision beyond human understanding. There are times when we cry for something, believing it is best for us, only to realize later that if we had received it, it would have brought more harm than good. There are other times when we are tested through loss or hardship, only to discover that through that pain we were being redirected to something far better. What feels like an ending is often the beginning of a greater chapter written for us by the one who knows what we do not. My brothers and sisters, trusting divine wisdom requires humility. It means admitting that we do not have all the answers. It means letting go of the illusion of control and embracing the truth that everything happens with a reason, even when that reason is hidden. The timing of life is not in our hands, and that is a mercy in itself. Imagine if everything we ever asked for was granted exactly when we wanted. Would we ever learn patience, gratitude, or contentment? Would we ever appreciate the beauty of the journey if we only focused on the destination? Sometimes the waiting itself is the gift. It refines us, strengthens our faith, and teaches us reliance on our Creator. When we are made to wait, we are being taught to trust. When we are made to lose, we are being reminded that nothing is truly ours. And when we are made to struggle, we are being prepared for the strength we will need once the blessings arrive. My brothers and sisters, divine wisdom is always perfect, even when it contradicts our plans. What we see as a delay is often protection, and what we call a setback is often the foundation for something extraordinary that is yet to come. My brothers and sisters, when we speak of hardship, we often see it as something to escape, something that interrupts our comfort and peace. Yet, if we look deeper, we realize that some of the greatest transformations in life are born from the very struggles we wish to avoid. Hardships are not punishments, they are lessons. They are the means through which our character is shaped, our faith is strengthened, and our hearts are purified. Without trials, we would remain stagnant, never discovering the depth of our patience or the power of our perseverance. Every difficulty we face carries within it an opportunity for growth. When everything goes our way, it is easy to feel content, but true growth happens when life challenges us to remain steadfast despite the storms. Think about it, my brothers and sisters. How would we ever know the strength of a tree if it were never tested by the wind? In the same way, how would we ever know the strength of our faith if it were never tested by hardship? It is through the weight of trials that we learn what we are truly made of, and more importantly, who we truly depend on. Sometimes life takes us through pain not to break us, but to awaken us. There are moments when we lose something precious, and in that loss, we discover what truly matters. There are times when we are brought to our knees, and in that surrender, we find peace we never knew existed. My brothers and sisters, hardship humbles us. It removes arrogance, it softens our hearts, and it brings us closer to our Creator in ways that comfort never could. The tears we shed in hardship are not signs of weakness, they are signs of cleansing. They wash away pride, they remind us of our limitations, and they connect us to the source of all strength. Through every trial, we are being molded. Every setback is carving patience into our hearts. Every disappointment is teaching us gratitude, and every delay is nurturing resilience. If life were always easy, we would never learn compassion for those who struggle. We would never value relief after hardship, nor appreciate the beauty of calm after a storm. My brothers and sisters, our struggles refine us into better versions of ourselves. They strip away what is unnecessary and reveal what truly matters: faith, humility, and endurance. When we look back, we often realize that it was the difficult chapters that taught us the most, that shaped us the deepest, and that guided us toward becoming who we were always meant to be. My brothers and sisters, one of the greatest challenges we face in life is holding on when everything within us wants to give up. There are moments when the weight of our worries feels unbearable, when the silence of unanswered prayers echoes too loudly, and when hope seems like a distant memory. Yet, it is in those very moments that we are called to trust, to keep walking even when we cannot see the path ahead. To never lose heart is not to deny our pain, but to rise above it with faith that the one who created us has not abandoned us, even for a moment. Many people mistake faith for the absence of struggle, but in truth, faith shines brightest during struggle. When everything seems to be falling apart and you still whisper, "I believe there's a way," that is faith in its purest form. My brothers and sisters, it takes courage to keep moving when your strength is fading. It takes deep conviction to continue praying when your heart feels heavy. But remember this, every step you take in faith, no matter how small, is seen, is heard, and is rewarded in ways beyond what you can imagine. Sometimes the journey becomes so difficult that we feel we are walking alone. But the reality is we are never alone. The one who carried us through the storms of yesterday will carry us through the trials of today. Just because we cannot see His plan does not mean He is absent. The delay of relief does not mean denial of mercy. My brothers and sisters, every hardship has an expiry date, but the lessons it leaves behind are eternal. When we keep our hearts firm with hope, we transform our trials into testimony, our pain into purpose, and our waiting into worship. Do not lose heart when things take longer than expected. The seed that takes time to grow often bears the sweetest fruit. The mountain that seems too high to climb often reveals the most beautiful view from the top. My brothers and sisters, What we perceive as the end is often just the beginning of something far greater. When you refuse to give up, when you continue to trust, when you hold on to hope even through tears, you become a living example of what it means to believe. Never losing heart is not about being strong all the time. It is about returning to faith every time you fall, knowing that no matter how dark it gets, the one who guides the light will never let you walk in darkness forever.